NCAA 14 on the Xbox 360. Right? It's like when you pretend to be you make yourself a high school player and you go to like San Diego High School for the San Diego football team. It literally is like that. The best video I've seen is a TikTok that someone made where it was a guy came out and he goes, "I'm a first name, last name. My position is to take the football and throw it efficiently to a man who can catch the football. My children's names are firstborn and secondborn." I mean, that's more creative than the Washington football team. So Washington R-word fans, I'm sorry for you. I can't wait till you guys get in last place and lose horribly this year. And not only are you going to be last place, but you're going to be called the Washington football team. It's a great bow on top of the dumpster fire that you are. I love it. To Levi Bowman, I am so happy that we made this bet that you're going to win the division. I couldn't be happier right now. Congratulations, Washington football team. Congratulations. I feel better. I kind of use you all as like my therapy session where I find a subject that really pisses me off and then I just yell about it. And you all listen. So thank you all for listening and not judging. You can judge from the other side of your device that you're listening from, but I don't have to hear it. So to me, it's like no judgment at all. So I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move on to our last NFL subject of the day. Everson Griffen and Jadeveon Clowney are still out and about. I've kind of already hit this a little bit with Seattle. I think Everson Griffen makes sense in 3 places. He makes sense in Seattle. I think that would make Seattle's defense a top 15 in the league, maybe even a top 10 for sure. I think Everson Griffen makes complete sense in Seattle, money-wise, cap room-wise, because you just paid Jamal Adams a buttload. I think Everson Griffen also makes sense in Dallas. Dallas lost Robert Quinn. They need somebody to fill that void. Everson Griffen makes complete sense in Dallas. And last but not least, Everson Griffen makes sense at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans would become a top 10 defense as a whole with Everson Griffen, like a solid probably 7 or 8, and would become a top 5 with Jadeveon Clowney. But let's stick on Griffen for a second. I'm going to get ready to hit the Titans with the scenario that I have for you. But Everson Griffen makes sense in those 3 spots. Now let's turn our attention over to Jadeveon Clowney. I've talked about this a couple different times on the podcast. He still has not signed anywhere. 3 potential landing spots for Jadeveon Clowney. Tennessee Titans. If the Titans were not going to sign Logan Ryan, Jadeveon Clowney is the man to go get. Here's an interesting fact that a lot of people don't know. Did you know that Jadeveon Clowney is the most double-teamed player in the NFL last year? That's right. The most double-teamed player in the NFL last year was Jadeveon Clowney. What does that mean? That means that Jadeveon Clowney is opening up the other end to go directly at the quarterback, one-on-one. That means that Jadeveon Clowney for the Tennessee Titans would be incredible. Jadeveon Clowney would make the Titans a top 5 defense in the league. I think they're somewhere around 12th right now. If you add Everson Griffen, I think you jump up to probably 7th or 8th. If you add Jadeveon Clowney, I think you move into that 5. Titans, go get one of these boys. You need him. You need him. You need him. I don't understand why we're still sitting around doing nothing. Go get Jadeveon Clowney. He makes the most sense. If we're going to pay somebody, might as well pay Jadeveon Clowney, who is the most double-team player in the NFL last year. If you don't want to pay Jadeveon Clowney, go get Everson Griffen on a 1-year deal. We can make an argument that the Titans' defense has gotten worse after losing Jarrell Casey and losing Logan Ryan. So you have to replace them with somebody. You have to at least replace Jarrell Casey. Replace Jarrell Casey because now you have Butler, who is now back and who's now healthy. Now, don't get me started. I don't think Butler's that good. I think he's overrated. But at least he's healthy this year. But you have to fill Jarrell Casey's void. Go get Everson Griffen or go get Jadeveon Clowney. Besides the Titans, I would propose that the Philadelphia Eagles would also be a great landing spot for Jadeveon Clowney. Especially adding to the defensive on the back end, Put Jadeveon Clowney on the other end. I think that would make a lot of sense. I think Philadelphia is ready to win now. You have a healthy Carson Wentz. Load up that defense, adding Jadeveon Clowney or Everson Griffin, if you can afford them. But I think either one of those makes sense as well. Last but not least, Jadeveon Clowney, the New York Giants. Here's why I say the New York Giants. Are the New York Giants good? No. Will Jadeveon Clowney get the money he wants? Yes. So if it's all about dollar signs for Clowney, if it's not about winning, just go to the New York Giants. You will be their star defensive player. You will get paid, ransom, basically, because the Giants are horrible. They will give you everything that you want. Go be a Giant. If it's about the dollar signs, go be a Giant. If not, come to Tennessee. If not, go to Philadelphia. Show that you want to be a winner. Take less money. So there you have it. That's what I kind of think of Everson Griffin and Jadeveon Clowney. Make sure, hey, my DMs are always open. You can always message me, and I will always reply back. If you have a different opinion, if you have another team that you think he can go to, that either one of them can go to that will be effective, hit me up. Let me know what you think. I'd love to talk about that with you. All right, now let's talk a little NBA. Return day is this Thursday. I couldn't be more happier. July 30th, the Clippers and Lakers kick it off. But there is a wrinkle in the system here. Before we get to the games, Sweet Lou Williams, is now quarantined for 10 days. As the story goes, Lou Williams went out of town for one of his friend's fathers who had passed. Very sad. Then Lou followed that up by going to a strip club in Atlanta. Now, Lou Williams, who is, without a doubt, the Clippers closer. It's not Paul George for sure. It is not Kawhi Leonard. I don't think either one of them are good closers. Lou Williams is the guy that they go to at the end of games. Lou Williams is the guy that has won the Clippers more games. The person who took 2 games off of Golden State last year was Lou Williams. You are now losing him for the first 2 important games for you, because the Clippers could very well be facing the Rockets if they don't take care of business these 8 exhibition games. It means more to the Clippers to have a full staff, which they have not had all year. They've had 5 players in and out of the bubble. They're still missing Zubac. They just got Shamet back, literally yesterday. I think he'll be done quarantining and be able to play Game 1. Montrezl Harrell will not be back for Game 1. And now you're losing Lou Williams for at least the first 2 games. And all these games are important. So now you want Kawhi Leonard and Paul George having to go all out for the first 2 games and carry everybody on their back. This is no good for the Clippers. But let's stick back with Sweet Lou. So Sweet Lou did an incredible thing. So he left for a family emergency. He went to it was a wake. So he went to a wake. After the wake, about midnight that night, Lou Williams snuck into an Atlanta strip club with a couple rappers and some of his friends, who then proceeded to take pictures of Lou and them in the club, in the gentleman's club, where they all then deleted the tweets and said that it was an old photo, this is an old photo. But Lou Williams is wearing his Orlando bubble mask from the NBA that were just given out. So let me get this straight. The Clippers are worried about winning a title. Lou Williams disappears and goes to a strip club. Now, his defense was he was hungry, he was going somewhere to eat. Okay, most people would think Taco Bell, Chipotle, Chili's, Applebee's, I don't know. Anywhere but a gentleman's club. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. The gentleman's club has incredible food. He ordered chicken wings, chicken strips, and stuff like that, right? Lou Williams was there for the wrong breasts and thighs. Let's put it that way. And definitely was there for the strips. Just not the strips you're thinking about. Then after taking a bunch of heat, he came out and said that there were no adult performers. For all the kids out there, that means strippers. Please go ask your mom and dad what a stripper is, just because I think that would be hilarious. But he said there's no performers, right? So I do a little research myself. There were performers. It's Hotlanta, baby. You think Atlanta's going to shut down their strip clubs? You are out of your mind. Of course there were performers. The night that Sweet Lou went to the gentleman's club, there were performers performing in front of him. So stop coming out and lying just to try and cover up and make yourself look good. What does this prove? This proves that the Clippers are in disarray. This proves the Clippers are fractioned. It proves that the Clippers will not make it to the NBA championship. They haven't had their full team together the whole time they've been in the bubble. You have players going out of the bubble for selfish reasons. I watched Kawhi Leonard play the Washington Wizards the other day, and he was 3 for 16 at one point. They don't look good. They don't look healthy. They don't look collective. The bubble, don't get me wrong, it's hard for a bunch of spoiled brats. And that's what all these players are, spoiled brats. But teams like the Bucks and the Lakers are overshining everybody right now. Why? Because they have embraced this college dorm room mentality and this college atmosphere mentality, and they are trying to enjoy this bubble and keep themselves in a good state of mind because they're focused on a real championship fight. They're focused on a real championship to win. They're not focused on, I'm in Orlando here to just golf and mess around, and I'm going to lie to my teammates and go to strip clubs and disappear. They are here for one job and one job only, and that's to win a championship. Alex the Man Caruso missed his sister's wedding because he didn't want to quarantine for 10 days and miss the opening game. So, what it proves to me, has my mind changed on the Lakers winning the championship? No. It has only gotten stronger now. Morris just came back today. LeBron and Anthony Davis are playing better than ever. Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith are shocking me. Those are real players right now. Dion Waiters is playing like I've never seen him play before. He's playing as good as he did in his stretch in Miami. Before, Dion's troubles. The Lakers look good. They're still not at full strength. They just now got Morris back. Rajon Rondo's out for 6 to 8 weeks, which honestly I think is better for the Lakers. Your two stars in Anthony Davis and LeBron James have bought into this college mentality where LeBron has left his personal chef behind. He's left his health coach behind. They've left all their entourages behind so that they could buy in and be one of the guys. They could buy in and be the Alex Carusos, the Danny Greens. It's such night and day from the Bucks, Lakers to everybody else that I think it's not even close. That's your NBA Finals. I have the Lakers in 5. It's not changing. What's changing is that the LA Clippers are not making a championship this year. There's no possible way. They're fractioned. They're not focused. They don't care about a championship. Kawhi Leonard seems completely checked out after all his teammates have basically checked out. You don't have superstars go 3 for 16, and I know it's a scrimmage game, and I'm not trying to overreact, and J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters probably are not going to drop 20 and 23 and ball out like they have been, but the Lakers are dialed in. The Bucks are dialed in. I think this is a 2-horse race, and it's not even close. I also want to point out that LeBron James, after he's returned to the bubble, he's let his hair go crazy. He's not covering up his bald spots. His beard has gray in it, visibly all over. I think LeBron James is sending a message, hey, I might be the old guy, but I'm the old guy who's about to take this championship. This is LeBron's to take. If LeBron does not go out and win this championship, I think it damages his legacy severely. This is the time that the Lakers have to go out and take this championship. It's going to be a beautiful ending to a horrible year. LeBron hoisting the trophy. LeBron saying, this is for Kobe. The lights go out. Done and done. Finish off this storybook ending, LeBron. As for the rest of the league, I really don't see anybody that's anywhere near the Bucks' talent. I really don't see anyone else nearly as engaged. The Rockets are the next closest team to being fully engaged. I just don't think they don't have what it takes to win a championship. They have what it takes to beat the Clippers, for sure. I think James Harden and Russell Westbrook will be a major problem for the LA Clippers. They don't have anything to answer for Anthony Davis. They have nothing to answer for Giannis. the Rockets are the next best team in this bubble as a whole. They just don't have what it takes. My opinion has not changed